Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to SC2VN, and we have practice matches in StarCraft 2 here. Your KVM is low. I win and respond with a flurry of unnecessary keystrokes. I've never cracked 300 APM even when I focused on doing so. A minute or two pass without comment, for it's hard to tell whether or not that means she thinks I'm playing well. Your engineering bays are late. Are they? They are. Damn it! I whip my mouse hard, box a pair of SCVs, and slam down the two delayed structures. I check his army composition with a scan and decide I'm ready to challenge him. Delayed upgrades or no, I manage to keep a close enough eye on my opponent's deck that I have a massive swell of Vikings by the time his Colossus come into play. His army gets caught in an awkward position when he tries to establish his third base, allowing me to power forward into his base. It's a win I'd normally celebrate with a self-assured smile. But with Reva over my shoulder, I'm forced to feign humility in my victory. I turn towards her and motion towards the screen. Well, what do you think? She adjusts her glasses and purses her lips, taking a long moment to decide on her response. He was bad, but you capitalized on his mistakes, so I have no major complaint. A good player won't let you obtain free information. Use your scans wisely. I thought I used them pretty well, didn't I? Scouting is one of the things I'm best at. Not particularly, and you should always aim to be even better. I grumble and turn to queue up another game. Yet another thing to focus on, I guess. I had thought that Reva's low-key attitude might have made her a bit lenient with my mistakes, but she's not all that different from Jet, minus how she delivers her criticism. My next match is on the largest map in the current ladder pool. I have pretty easy time defending my expansions by the way that the map's choke points are constructed. Rather than poke and prod with marines or go for early aggression, I throw down a quick third base in a far flank corner on the map shortly I begin my natural expansion. Pulling off this kind of tactics is incredibly rewarding. If it goes unscouted, I'm practically guaranteed to win. Why are you doing that? Practice something useful. I shift my gaze aside to find Reva uncomfortably close to both me and monitor. What if I decide to hide an expansion against Bolt? Are you going to risk the team on the coin flip? Cancel it and aim for a long game. Reva offered advice to firm to be called as aggression, and I find myself moving the mouse to do as instructed. This game is going to set me back a fair bit. I gear up from a drawn-out match by focusing on my upgrades and base defense. It's not long before my Protoss opponent and I have split the map in half and are jockeying for position. Build more defenses, you can afford a dozen planetary fortress. Is that really necessary? Mach, your opponent is Protoss. Protoss players will stop at nothing to cheat an honest terrain out of an earned win. Funny, I typically image balanced winner was as loud as obnoxious in real life. I wonder if she quit playing random out of guild. Still, I oblige her and cram as many static defense structures as I can into a vital choke point. There is an observer over your army. I squint to find that she's right. Damn, how did I not catch that earlier? With a scan, I pick off the Protoss scout and reposition my units. It takes a few minutes to adjust my army composition to one that better suits the extreme late game, but I'm soon ready to clash with my opponent. At this point, StarCraft becomes less about strategy and more about patience. It's important to know when to stack and when to pounce. I sense an opening at last and rush to my opponent's weak flank. Out of the corner of my eye I can see Reva tensing up, invested as much as I am in the outcome of the battle. But try as I might, my snipes don't connect with the High Templar scattered amongst the Protoss army. He drones by units in Psy Storm and steamrolls down the center of the map, destroying my constructed defenses along the way. I struggle pointlessly to mount a counter-offensive, but the damage is done. I'm forced to tap out a GG and quit the match with a hoof. He controls his army better than you did. I spin my chair to face Reva with a frown. If he didn't, I would have won. That was so close. Yeah, it was. At least she can concede a point to my credit when it's deserved. But damn, that match took a while. As long as go with Mr. Yeon, it's no longer. What time do you need to leave? Are you throwing me out? What? No, I'm just saying if you need to be home at a certain time, let me know. I do not. Okay. Why does talking to her feel so unnatural? This has to be intentional on her part. I need a break. Your opponents will use every wasted moment to become better than you. Breaks are dangerous. Just a short one. I'm thirsty anyway. We'll back on the ladder with a vengeance afterwards. Huh? Thirsty. I see. Huh? My first clenches involuntarily as I reach for a can, nearly forcing me to knock it over. I offer Reva an exhausted look before cracking open my drink. Not to be outdone, I take a poised sip before glancing casually in her direction. So why do you pretend to be a guy on the internet? Now it's Reva's turn to tense up, her face contours, eyes glazing over as if scanning her internal database for a skating comeback. 404. Comeback not found. I do know such thing. Details about my private life are just kept just so private. Others simply assume. Well, that's all coming to an end if we are going to be on Team Enoch, isn't it? I suppose. Excited about living in a team house? As long as it is being paid for, yes. Oh, in it for that eSports money, huh? Of course, since primary school I have dreamed of my own bunk bed and free cup noodles. Reva is refreshingly realistic about pro gamer living conditions. Maybe she can talk some sense into stunt. To be frank, anything is better than life back at home. Oh? Trouble with your parents? No. My parents work hard to give me the opportunities they never had, and for that I will always be grateful. But they live far from Seoul, so I was isolated from my friends for most of my life. You mean your online friends? Yeah, but now I have the chance to make my own way. I take pride in the fact that I have turned my skills into a living, no matter how meager. You should be. Most people living off of StarCraft do it with the support of a team, but you've managed on your own. You have the right to be proud. Maybe. But sometimes, even though I'm happy with my accomplishments, I lack the confidence to devote more of myself to this game. Really? I wouldn't have expected to hear something like that from you. Why? I don't know, you kinda seem like the result type. No regrets, that sort of thing. I am bad at putting into words my impression of Reva, but she seems to understand what I mean by the nod she offers. You are correct that I always give full effort to my pursuits. However, this is not a matter of regret. Normally, I can be satisfied even in failure if I have done my best. But what if the task was not worth taking towards in the first place? What do you mean? Esports is like anything else, isn't it? It's a climb to the top. It is, but StarCraft is inherently less valuable than most other things. Art, athletics, education, science, a corporate career. Objectively, my time is better spent on almost anything other than pro gaming. But I do not believe I can truly distinguish myself at any of those things, while it is possible as a pro gamer. I was born in the right country, I am the correct age, and I have enough required talent. Even then, it is not logical for me to spend so much time and effort on what should statistically prove unrewarding, yet I cannot bring myself to turn down the chance to compete. I have the same drive, so I can at least understand that, but you really won't do something if you can be the best at it, and the way you talk about your motivation. Do you even like StarCraft? No, I don't. Oh. She answers bluntly and then looks away. I have nothing to say to that. High-level StarCraft isn't always fun in the traditional sense of the word, but it sounds like Reva genuinely doesn't enjoy the game. For her to be as good as she is what with that holding her back is hard to understand. StarCraft greatest players have always credited their love of the game as a major factor in their success. How far can she hope to go without that advantage? With silence filling the space between us, Reva takes the opportunity to try out the drink I brought for her. On the first taste, she screws her face up and hurries to set it down. How can you stand something so sugary? I shrug, since I don't have a good answer. It's not like I can explain why something tastes good. Where living if not with your parents? Do you know what a goshy one is? I have no idea. No way, really? Thanks for explaining. Okay, how do we write that thing? Quickly, Google. Goshy one. Goshy one. Well, thank you for not offering much. I guess it's some kind of a very small flat. Well, at least that's what I can see on pictures, I guess. Well, okay, so it's the cheapest available thing. Per month, 110 pounds to 250. Okay. I don't know if it's bad or not bad. Well, okay. Let's continue with the game. Consider it a small flat, very small, I guess. No way, really? That's a term that showed up in one of my online lessons. If I remember correctly, it's an absolutely tiny type of apartment. Literally the size of a closet, with a low price to match. Okay. I lived on the edge of Seoul, so rent is inexpensive. I pay with my winnings from online tournaments. Matches on the last week of every month. If I have not yet hit, my quota can be very stressful. That has been my life since I graduated from high school. Damn. You don't mind the lack of space? I do. I'm enjoying the chance to stretch while it lasts. She demonstrates by falling back on my bed and fully extending her legs. I shake my head and try not to laugh. It will last. The team house will be a nice upgrade for the both of us. Reva sits up and rests her arms on her knees. Break time is over. Return to the ladder. Alright. I spin my chair back towards my computer and resume my training. The blue light from my computer monitor shines in Reva's glasses. Her voice and my grounding all that is said between us. The matches bleed into each other, one fool falling after another. I'm in a Protoss slaying grove. I don't often find myself on winning streaks on ladder. Part of me wonders if I'm playing this well only to impress her. Reva goes quiet in the middle of a particularly intense game, leaving only the sounds of my keyboard and mouse clicks to mingle with the game sounds blasting from my headphones. I manage to prolong my win streak with a multi-prong attack that forces my opponent to tap out. With a triumphant grin, I push off the desk and turn. Boom! Frina! And find that Reva has fallen asleep on duty. Well, that explains why she didn't point out that my dropships were delayed. Is it really that late? I rested my hand against my cheek. Should I wake her up and tell her to go home? She looks too peaceful for me to do that in good conscience. I can just sleep on the floor, I guess. I bunch up a hoodie from my dresser into a makeshift pillow and ease myself into the space under my desk. The ground isn't exactly comfortable, but with enough shifting around I find a decent spot. Not long after, my eyelids grow heavy and sleep claims me. I'm on the floor. Why am I on the floor? The trash on my desk is gone and my bed is made. I literally never make my bed. Right, Reva. When I stand, an edge in my back forces me to wince. It's nothing serious, but I must have turned over in my sleep onto a weird angle. A text message from Reva awaits me when I check my phone for the time. I apologize for falling asleep. I will see you later. Third, as I've come to expect from her, I lock my phone screen and slip it into my pocket. The week ahead is going to be tough. 6 days probably isn't enough time to make any sort of serious breakthroughs in terms of mechanics or game sense. But it's long enough to craft a game plan that might edge out both. My biggest issue with the matchup is that I have no idea what to expect from him. How does a Brood War player go about learning StarCraft 2? Maybe I should ask Chet or Arson. Whatever the case, the team is probably waiting for me at Golden Zonefire. I should hurry over. And we'll be there in the next episode, so see you then. Bye. It will be next episode of practice. Bye.